All right, so to start this, you need to go to Canvas, and on the front page, the daily agenda is under the Today button. So click the Today button, and it will take you to the daily agenda. Once this loads up, I have asked the substitute to direct you to this page so that you can see the directions for how to annotate this Declaration of Independence. So if you go to the last slide on this presentation, you'll see that there is a hyperlink to the hyperdoc right here, so you can click on that. The short of the directions is this. I'm going to let you work in groups of 3. I don't want any more than that unless there's absolutely some special circumstance that dictates a need to do so. Okay? You can use the slides presentation that I've already given you in class to fill several parts of this out, and I'll go through those here in a moment. Okay? Your group is going to be responsible for filling in the indictment of the king or the list of grievances part. I don't want you doing any copy and pasting, all right? The parts that you're going to put in there, they need to be typed, not copy and pasted, all right? So I'm going to put a link right here. I will get this done as soon as I get done with this presentation. I will hyperlink this right here and explain to you how we're going to do this assignment. So it starts with this Declaration of Independence, okay? You are going to open up the Declaration of Independence hyperdoc. That is this document right here. It is in Canvas. You will go ahead and scroll down to here, the Analyze and Comprehend part. This Google Doc right here, somebody in your group needs to open this and make a copy of it. When they open it, it will come up like this. Now, these directions up here will not be the same as what you're going to do in class because we're not doing this independently. I will tell you this, the part at the beginning is correct. You're going to take the phrases from the different segments of the Declaration and you're going to annotate them. When you annotate them, you are to write a critical explanation that adds an extra insight. In essence, what I'm saying is that this is 1776 English. Nobody speaks like this. Nobody writes like this anymore. You're going to need to take that verbiage and you're going to need to turn it into 2021 speak. Make it so that it's something everybody can understand. You also need to consider who your audience is. You are not writing this to me. Oftentimes when you guys do your tests and you do your short answers, you write them in a fashion because you know I understand the material. So I can decode some of the things that you're meaning. In this case here, you need to write this as if the audience that's reading this has no idea what you're talking about. You're not going to simply restate these things, but you're going to make sure that you explain them so that people that are reading this can understand what these different phrases mean. All right? So again, no copying, pasting, but you're going to work through these 4 parts. Your document looks like this. Here's what I want to show you. So the preamble is right here. This is the terminology that they use. You're going to put the annotation over here. Now what I've already done for you, if you'll go back and you'll look at the presentation, here's the preamble. I have already done the annotation for the preamble over here for you. Next slide. This is part 2, the new theory of government. Here's the actual verbiage in the Declaration. Here's the annotation part. So you can copy this, but the person that's doing the typing is going to have to copy this by retyping all of it. Right? There's no copying, pasting allowed in this. Now, when you get to the grievances, I did the very first one for you. So if you go back to your annotation, number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I have already done for you. All you have to do is retype them. When we start getting to number 6, then this is where you're going to have to start doing some work. So we go back here and we start talking about the grievances. There are 27 of these listed. I have, in essence, done 6 of these. By clicking on this ribbon, it takes you to this document. So you'll have to find these phrases in this 3rd column in the Declaration, and then you'll have to annotate those. I have started you out over here in the left column. These are not complete annotations. They are too simple. They do not explain anything, but they give you a start. So I have given you a start on 6 of these. That means that there's 21 others that you're going to have to go through, and you're going to have to go through and annotate. Now, for example, let's take this one right up here. Okay, the second one, number 7. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained, and when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. When you annotate this, you're going to have to explain what has been forbidden. Okay? They cannot pass laws of immediate or pressing importance. What does that mean? immediate and pressing importance. All right? What does the word assent mean? You're going to have to do that. Okay? You're going to have to understand what neglected means. So when you go through and do this, this is how I would break up your groups. I would have one person that's going to be the secretary. Their job is to type everything onto this document. Another person needs to be the linguist, meaning that they need to find out what the words mean. So words like assent right here, A-S-S-E-N-T, they will need to look this word up in the dictionary or on their computer so that they can provide the group with an explanation of how this word is supposed to be used. They also would need to be responsible for taking words like neglected and understanding which definition of neglected is the proper context for this particular sentence. All right? Then the third person in this needs to be the one that actually constructs the annotation. So they're going to do the work in trying to build this annotation. You guys will do this as a group, but they will kind of write it down, and then they will pass it off to the secretary to type into the document. That's kind of the process that I would suggest in doing this. All right? So you're going to go through all these lists of grievances. I know it looks like a lot. Some of these are really, really short, though. So they're not that difficult. You're only having to do about 21. When you get to these last three, the Declaration of Freedom, of Independence, and War, you can actually go back to the presentation we did. And here again, there's the documentation from the Declaration. Here's the annotation. I've done that part for you. You simply have to copy it back over to here. Now, you do not have to submit this document, okay? I'm going to come around on Tuesday, and I will look at your groups, and I will ask whoever the secretary is to pull this document up, and I will check your work from that point, okay? If you have any questions, you can just email me about it. This should be plenty to keep you busy on Friday, but this is how you're going to do this assignment. Please make sure it's completed by Tuesday.